Okay, I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Town of Riverhead Industrial Development Agency on May 8th, 2023 at 5 p.m. The first item of business for the board is the consideration of our proposed agenda. Have you all reviewed it?
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Our next item of business is consideration of the minutes from our last meeting of March 27th. I take it everyone's read the minutes, find them acceptable, and could I have a motion to approve them?
I'll make that motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence, Tracy, you just want to walk us through the correspondence we have?
Sure. You had received timely, because it came by email, the EPCAL Watch Coalition letter. Included in your packet is the recently annual Suffolk County Comptroller request for information. That was responded to in a timely manner. And then numerous community emails that come in,
right.
I forwarded to the board as they came in.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board on those communications? All right. In which case, I'd like to invite Landmark of Riverhead to make its presentation. Do you want to introduce us, Tracy?
Yes, Wayne Steck of Landmark of Riverhead is making a proposal, which he's been working on for several years, for downtown Riverhead, additional revitalization in the former West Marine building. Boutique apartment building with specialty retail underneath.
All right.
Good evening or good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wayne Steck. I am the owner and developer of the Landmark at Riverhead at 103, 105 East Main Street. I also developed and own the Summerwind complex at 40 Peconic Avenue. It's a pleasure to be standing here before the IDA today to introduce our latest project. The Landmark of Riverhead. This multi-use building is a culmination of years of hard work and dedication, and we are thrilled to finally share it with all of you. The Landmark will consist of 45 market-rate apartments and 9,000 square feet of unique retail and food experiences that will cater to every taste and preference. What makes our project truly exceptional will be the unique retail and food experience. We are carefully curating a selection of vendors and food concepts that will bring a vibrant energy to the downtown area. This would include art exhibits, live music, and special events. An example being Haskell Seafood Bait and Tackle, which is interested in opening up a restaurant, bait and tackle, and possibly even boat charters for fishing excursions from the riverfront. In order to draw Haskell's and other unique vendors in the downtown area, we will need to offer substantial build-out discounts and long-term rent incentives. We firmly believe that this project will serve as a catalyst for the continued growth and development of the downtown area. Our retail and foodie experiences will attract many visitors, creating a hub of activity and energy that will benefit local business and the downtown revitalization plan. The Landmark will also create numerous job opportunities across a variety of industries, including retail, food service, and property management, providing a significant boost to the local economy and creating new opportunities for our city's residents. We are incredibly excited about this project and the positive impact it will have on the downtown area. We strongly believe that the Landmark will not only offer a superior living experience for our residents, but also serve as a unique and engaging destination for our visitors to downtown Riverhead. Thank you for taking the time to listen today, and I look forward to bringing this project to life.
Okay. Maybe you want to walk us through are these just photos or slides, or what do we have?
I have some renderings. Okay, so whoever doesn't know where the building is, I just have a site map. The old West Marine building is down here in the
Right.
square box.
So this would be going next to the proposed Science Museum?
Correct.
Okay,
Main Street.
yep,
This is artist rendering of what it would look like with the existing surrounding buildings. And we also have a rendering.
Yes.
Second page
all right,
of what the building will look like from the parking lot off of the waterfront.
okay.
And we also have elevations of the building. This is the front side.
Oh, you need to get into the microphone. Go back to there.
This is an elevation of the front and west side of the building.
The second photo in our packet shows that right-of-way, I guess it is, between the Riverhead Grill and this building, but it's showing it as kind of a walkway plaza. That's not property that you own.
Correct. We
It's
put
it's public access.
in an application to have that changed to a pedestrian right-of-way, but I don't think that's something that has the potential. I met with the fire marshal, and they want to keep the road, so our rendering shows it as being all walking,
Okay.
but I think there is still going to have to be a road there.
So it's owned by the town?
Yes.
Is that- okay. And in your application, I just want to be clear, because in some places it said that they were going to be market rate apartments, and in other places it referenced affordability. So if you could speak to that a
They're
little.
market rent, but we're not going to be like overly priced. In other words, they're going to be fair rental rates. I think we put in our thing between $1,600 and $2,500 a month.
How much parking will be provided?
We don't have any parking. It's all part of the downtown parking district. We had an original application with 11 parking spaces under the building, but because of the flooding issues and the access and what's going on for the downtown plan, it didn't work out, so we removed them.
And so the plan is to completely demolish the existing building?
Yes.
And will there be, do you envision on-site management of the units?
Yes, we're going to have a staff of 4 full-time employees between janitorial, maintenance, leasing, and management.
So the concept here is, from the slides you've given us, I don't think you have for the public, is sort of the Chelsea Market idea?
Exactly. I put some pictures in there, and I can show the,
Yeah.
so I have some renderings here of Chelsea Market, where I got a lot of my ideas from. So if you look at the renderings of the building, you can see the same type of metal signage in the front, commercial look. And inside, we want to create the feeling of being outside, because there's a building above. We have the first floor is higher than normal for retail, and we're gonna make like skylights so it feels like you're actually outside when you're inside. This is an artist rendering of what that would look like.
So
And
will they be individual stalls that people will lease, or how do you envision the
yes,
space? Yeah.
individual stalls, and I have also a rendering of, I don't have all the tenants lined up yet, but there'd be a mixture of food and vegetables and produce and possibly some retail.
In that rendering, Wayne, those buildings or structures on the side of the hallway, can you make those flex spaces, and these flex space where you can make them larger?
Yes, it's going to be based on the tenants that we receive. Some will have a very small space, some might have a large space, some will have cooking with the hoods, others won't have exhaust fan needs.
What are the apartment sizes going to be?
I think they range from about 500 square feet. We have one large one is probably 1,200 square feet.
500 being a studio?
One bedroom, no studios. There was some kind of zoning issue where studios couldn't be above a certain size, and we didn't meet code, so we had to change them to one bedrooms, because the units were too big. It had to be like under 400 square feet or 425, I don't know the exact number. So we don't have any studios because we couldn't get them big enough.
So this is 5 floors, no setback on the 5th floor, correct?
It's 4 floors from the front and Main Street, and then there's a mezzanine in just the back half of the building. And there's setback front and back. The sides on the top floor, we have a mansard roof and no setback. There's sections that are pushed back, but it's not like a complete, like, 10-foot setback.
It seems to be designed in a way that conforms with the pattern book, is that correct?
Yes.
And what is the percentage of the retail as a total of the total project?
The retail is about 9,000 square feet on the first floor, and there's about 900 square feet in the first floor, which is ancillary use, so it's about 10,000. And then the mezzanine is probably 4,000 square feet, and then there's 3 floors of residential were about 10,000 feet each.
And what is the use envisioned for the mezzanine?
Residential use.
Oh, it is, okay.
Where is this in the town process?
We applied 3 years ago, and we've been through several departments, and I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be. I have a meeting next week with the people who created the pattern book. They want to have one final review, and then hopefully it'll go to town board for public hearing.
Wayne, explain that. So just as a reminder, with Summerwind, which is going to graduate this year, the difficulty with the workforce housing and the tenants meeting the income limits and having to be evicted because they've gotten a raise at work, because they're not staying below a certain minimum salary. And Wayne believes that he'll be providing sort of a graduating opportunity for those tenants.
Wait a minute, though. The workforce housing, the upper limit on Jody's building, workforce housing, the top limit on the income is about 90,000, isn't it?
It depends on how many occupants are in. If it's a single person or a family of 4, those limits change.
That's
But
true.
we'll get someone from the military, say, who's earning $55,000, and they get a stipend or whatever it's called for living expenses. So they might get another $2,000 a month. That counts as their income. So a lot of them, if they get like promotion or whatever it is, they make above what we're allowed. They're single, they might only be allowed $65,000 or $70,000. And because of the money they get towards their living expenses, it precludes them from staying there. So a lot of the times they have to move out. We also have doctors who do residency, and while they're a resident and the income is low, they're usually able to stay one person, they just barely make it. But then if they want to stay on, they get a job at the hospital, they make too much money, they have to leave.
So you're suggesting that your building is designed to take on doctors that have graduated from the Summerwind rental program?
Correct.
At a 500 square foot sized apartment?
Yes.
Okay.
Most of them are still single, and to be honest with you, most of them are in studios. So it would be actually a larger apartment.
Are you going to, just since you brought Summerwind into the conversation, are you going to have income verification like they do there? In the sense that, I understand that Summerwind has a program that basically defines the income of the tenants very clearly and very definitively.
Right. You wouldn't have to as a private
It's a
developer.
market rate.
I mean,
project.
he'll
Well,
want to.
no, but it's meant to
He'll want to
function for
verify.
that, though. But it could be done that way, but anyway.
We won't have an upper limit, but we probably will have a lower income limit.
Just by the nature of the cost.
And so you're here with your application and your presentation today. You'd like us to provide some support towards this project, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And what level of if we have
So
discussed...
he has presented a pro forma with and without assistance. I didn't forward that yet because this resolution is to accept the application for processing, and in addition to commissioning an engineering firm to do an impact study and an economic study.
All right.
At the expense of the developer.
I'm sorry?
At the expense of the developer.
Right, at the expense of the developer.
Other questions? More? Good question.
Happy to make a motion to...
Okay, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's later, right? The
Well, I was going to
resolution is
suggest
later.
that we just bring that particular resolution forward then. I don't need to ask for a vote on that, do I?
No, you just need to mention that you're taking some
Yeah,
new
so
business
I'd
out of
just like
order.
to take an item on the agenda, which is Resolution 1923,
1923?
and just ask the board if they've reviewed it, if there are any questions, and if there are no questions, whether it be a motion.
I'll make the motion to accept, or to, I'll make the motion
Accept the
to
application.
approve Resolution 1923.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, Tracy, we'll move forward then with the treasurer's report.
Back to, are you going to go back to the order of the agenda?
I am in doing that exactly, yeah.
Okay.
I just picked up the one resolution from new business. We've approved that, and then back to the treasurer's report, yeah.
So this is the report for as of April 30th. The cash in the checking account was $44,513.64. In the money market account was $45,054.41, with interest earned in the amount of $3.45. There was a new account established for the purpose of due diligence and analysis at EPCAL, and that was funded with $150,000. Revenues for the month of April included an application fee in the amount of $4,000 and interest earnings in the amount of $16.19. And the expenses for the month of April totaled $17,930.38.
Thank you. Any questions or concerns regarding the treasurer's report?
No.
Then could I have a motion on resolution 1623 to accept the,
I'll move it.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that brings us to committee reports. And tonight, the only committee report we have is a governance report, all right?
Yes. The Governance Committee met on April 20th. The first order of business was a review of fee waiving requests from Hampton, Jitney, and Island Water Park, who were late in submitting their pilot payments, and presented explanations of the extenuating circumstances that led to the delay, as required by agency policy. After consideration by the committee, recommendations were made for consideration by the full board, and those recommendations are outlined in the resolutions that we'll be addressing later in the meeting. The executive director informed the committee of applications that have recently been submitted and the desire to postpone the May 1st meeting to enable a thorough review of the landmark application and the scheduling of a presentation by the applicant, which just took place. The committee then went into executive session to discuss contracts and litigation. That concludes the report.
All right, thank you, Lori. Old business tonight, none? Okay. And in terms of new business, it's really just the resolutions regarding the items highlighted in the governance report. And that would be Resolution 1723 and 1823. Could I have a motion with respect to these resolutions?
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So that's an approval of both resolutions then.
Yes.
And that brings us to our executive session.
So you need to
I'll
make,
make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
No.
Oh,
I'll second.
to
Motion to go into executive
go
session.
into executive session.
Right.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. That's all, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go into executive session. When we finish our executive session,